It's so good. I don't know where to start. You have to try it for yourself to see how good it is. Today we have another Tunisian recipe and I'm making farfoucha. What is farfoucha? Farfoucha means something that is mixed. That is farfoucha. It is a vegetarian dish. It is a couscous with fennel. Fennel tops. These are fennel tops. So we have 3 parts to this recipe. The fennel part, we have the couscous part, and we have the sauce part. So for the fennel and couscous, they're going to be steamed. Yes, couscous in Tunisia, it's never boiled or cooked in water. No, it's steamed. You can only steam it if you're making a real authentic recipe. So these are 2 types of steamers. In North Africa, they have couscousier, which is, this is not really a couscousier, this is similar. It has a pot in the bottom where you fill it with water. The top is where you put the couscous and vegetable. You should know probably the idea of a steamer. So most steamers that I found abroad, the holes are very big. But these, I found this one and it had small holes, which is great to cook couscous. But probably fine couscous, you cannot cook it here. Another steamer, and I will talk about the solution. This is a small steamer. This is that I bought here in China as well. And it has, you can see here, the holes are bigger. But I put the steaming cloth on top, and then you can put your couscous or your vegetables or anything that you want to cook. The people who don't know what is fennel. This is fennel, and these are the top. So in Tunisia, in winter, these are in abundance. I remember this trucks that pass by, huge trucks full of fennel. It makes the whole like street smell like anisi. You can buy these by themselves or you can buy the full thing. I bought these separately. So we need to cut the stems. Don't throw these stems. We're not going to use them for this dish, but you can use them in other recipes. You can use them in some stews. You can use them to make a broth if you want this kind of flavor. And we're going to use the rest, all of the rest, the leaves and everything. So you have to wash them very well before you use them. Then you want to chop them like this, very finely chopped. 1 green onion that I took the green part and I also finely chopped it and added it to the fennel. So now on the bottom we have water. Add on top the fennel. Cover this and we're gonna let it cook for about 30-35 minutes until it's ready. Couscous here is very important if you want to get the best of this dish. It's not the 5-minute couscous. Please do not use that. It will not give you the same thing. I have used that when I left Tunisia for the first time because I could not find it anywhere and it does not taste the same. I promise you it does not taste the same. Medium-sized couscous. I'm going to use 250 grams, that's half a pound, because I'm only making this recipe for 2 people. In North Africa, there are different types of couscous. There's the one that my grandma used to make, or there are still people still making it till today, which they make these from scratch. They call it dieri, which is made at home. The process takes even longer to make. This one that we buy in the markets, not the 5 minutes one, it's already steamed. So we don't need to have the long process as the other one. Let me show you the techniques here. So we're going to add first a little bit of salt. Let's say about a teaspoon. Add a little bit of olive oil, a tablespoon of water. And you want, with clean hands, you want to work it in your hands like this. This is going to prepare the couscous to make those granules separate from each other. This step is to prevent clumpiness. Like this, stir it with your hands a couple of times and then do like that a few more times. When the granules are all separate, and that's all you need to do. You can see now that the fennel is already cooked and you can see how it reduced. The amount is less than half of what it was, comes the time for couscous. We just put it on top, spread it so it can cook faster. And you guys, you know, steaming food actually keeps the nutrients of the ingredients, not like boiling, it all goes into the water. We're gonna get all the nutrients from this. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook for about 20 minutes until the couscous is ready, and then I'll show you the final step. The sauce is very easy to make, it does not require a long time, and we start with our olive oil. We add enough to cover the bottom of the pan, and we're going to add the rest of our green onion. This is the white part, and I have 3 cloves of garlic that I sliced. The water from the onions is going to help not burn the garlic. So we're going to saute this until the onions sweat. Oh, I forgot something so important. I actually forgot to add this in the beginning. It's supposed to be really spicy. So in Tunisia, winter food tend to be spicier than the rest of the year. The rest of the year is usually very spicy. But if you don't want spicy in your food, you can omit the peppers and you can reduce the amount of harissa or use a milder version of harissa. But if you really like spicy, you're going to love this. Okay, we're going to add passata. You can use fresh tomatoes if you want. So here some spices that are used in Tunisian cuisine. 1 tablespoon of caraway that is ground. And then I have here a table spice. Shared a video lately about the spice mix. I'm going to leave a link somewhere here. And this is also a tablespoon, and it's really important part of this recipe. I have here half a teaspoon of black pepper that I grounded, and I have half a tablespoon of turmeric. And here, because this dish is a winter dish and doesn't have meat or other things to flavor it, so we're going to add half a tablespoon of grounded orange peel. So this orange peel, I dried it in my dehydrator, but I actually shared a post lately on Instagram on how to use it in the oven. So if you want, check that. Then 1 bay leaf, and we're going to add all those spices. If you're in a hurry to make this dish and you don't have table, you can use coriander instead, and it's still going to be good. So now we're going to add a little bit of water, about a half a cup. We want the sauce to be thick. And we're going to let it cook until it thickens a little bit and the acidity from the tomatoes goes away. The couscous is ready, the sauce is ready, the fennel is ready, and we are ready to make the farfoucha. It's farfoucha time. So do you see how all the fennel is mixed in with the couscous? So we're going to add the sauce bit by bit. And I forgot to show this thing on camera, but I added the salt to the sauce. To add just a little bit, and then you want the couscous to soak the sauce. In Tunisia, we really like red, spicy food. Fiery people like fiery stuff. But you can take it easy on the spiciness if you want. I know, I understand, this is not a typical dish for a lot of people. I mean the ingredients, and it's not the typical like spices and spiciness. So you can take it easy with the spiciness and then add it if you want. It's ready to be served. You really have to eat it or serve it with olives and lemon. You can put the olives on the side. People who don't like olives, they can decide for themselves. But for someone who loves olives like me, put the olives there. So the lemon is very important, I think, that to squeeze on top before you eat it. It's going to add such a nice citrusy, zesty flavor to the final dish, and it elevates the flavor of the fennel. So Tunisians, when we add pickles to a warm dish or olives, it's like balancing texture balancing the temperature and balancing the flavors. So you get a bite of this with some olives, and it's taste time. So good. Oh, it reminds me of so many memories in Tunisia. Where do I start? You have to get this part. The acidity of the olives. This is all the other flavors from the couscous, and it makes it light. It's not a heavy dish, and it's so healthy. It's full of nutrients. It's so good for winter's comfort food. And fennel, oh my gosh, please try this dish. And if someone asks you, where did you find this recipe? Just tell them, man, showed me how to make it. So I hope to see you soon in the next episode with another Tunisian dish. I have another excellent Tunisian dish coming up.